Good afternoon. Welcome to the Ascension News. Today I am with Natalie Lane. I'm so excited. We are going to talk about what is TRS. Okay, maybe she's frozen. We've been having a little technical difficulty. Hold on. She might have to go. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, good. You were a little frozen there for a minute.
I hope this goes well.
Yeah.
Having technical difficulties.
Yes, but it happens. It's okay. This is what life is about, these mysteries.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us what TRS is.
All right. So TRS stands for Advanced Toxin Removal System. So toxin removal system. It's a lab-created zeolite spray that is in a water suspension. So it's a detox spray. Very simply.
I like that. We dumbed it down simply. A detox spray. Perfect. Okay, now tell us your experience. Why did you decide to do this? What is amazing about this? And then we're going to do a little small video.
Okay. So my personal journey with the TRS, I have lupus, supposedly.
Allegedly.
So I'm having autoimmune things happening for the last 10 years, and I've followed TRS for the last 5. It's been around for 5 years, and I've followed it and have seen some incredible testimonies of people healing and things. So I am trying all of the alternative routes to try to reverse my lupus and get rid of all my autoimmune symptoms that have really kicked on kind of intensely in the last year. So my experience so far has been great. I've been on it for 3 weeks, and I had some detox symptoms, which we'll talk about later, but I feel like more alive than I have felt in probably a few years. So far for me, it's been an incredible journey with the detoxing.
Good. I like to that. I do want to hear some of the symptoms, and then I'm going to talk about my symptoms as well. But let's listen. Let's do this short video.
So
Sorry.
me and Mary are doing the detoxing together. Mary is also using the TRS spray.
Yes, and we have completely different symptoms. I don't have lupus
Yes.
or anything, but who knows? All right, here we go.
So I've been asked to talk a little bit about particle size and why it's important in terms of health benefits of any product, including advanced TRS. Advanced TRS is a zeolite, and a zeolite is a mineral substance that is very porous. And 0.9 nanometers is the whole size, or the active site, of the zeolite. And this size, 0.9 nanometers, is important because it happens to be a perfect size for the binding of heavy metal toxins and other small molecule toxins. Moreover, this chamber that is 0.9 nanometers in size is also negatively charged, and this negative charge has a high affinity for positively charged materials, which happen to be most toxin. In the case of a molecule, which can be called a particle, that size is a nanometer, or maybe 2 nanometers at most, and that molecule is its own independent entity that will do its job all by itself. In the case of a zeolite, the active spot, which would be the spot that has a function, just like a molecule has a function, happens to be 0.9 nanometers. But that doesn't define the size of the zeolite particle, it just defines the size of the active site in a zeolite particle. And because all these active sites have to be connected together in a stabilizing structure, it's impossible for the entire particle to be 0.9 nanometers in size. You have to have enough of these active sites together to maintain each other so that the entire unit stays stable. So if one were to have a particle that is 1 nanometer large, and then a void or an active space that's 0.9 nanometers large, then that means the walls, the entire volume of the walls that support that active site, can't be more than 0.1 nanometers in dimension. This is impossible. If you take as the definition of particle the smallest entity that has a certain active function, then yes, 0.9 would be the size of a particle of zeolite. But because that zeolite cannot maintain its function if it's only one independent 0.9 nanometer sized object, the entire unit has to be bigger than 0.9 nanometers to maintain the activity.
Good. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And then we're going to go over here. So, this is what it looks like, basically.
So to summarize what she was talking about in the video, TRS is made up of something called a zeolite. And so she was describing the structure of a zeolite as the particle size. So the zeolite structure is what goes in and it binds to heavy metals and other toxins in the body. So those are obviously very tiny. So that's why she was referencing the particle size. And the structure of the zeolite will go in and attract the heavy metal and then trap it like a cage. So that's the big thing about this toxin removal system is if you know anything about heavy metal detoxing, you might have heard of chelation therapy, which is a little bit more intense and it can be a little dangerous. So when you are loosening up these toxins inside the body, you can have some adverse, serious reactions while all these metals and things, toxins are floating around in your body. Well, what makes TRS different is it attracts those toxins based on the charge. So they're opposite charge. One is a positive charge, the other is a negative charge. It attracts those heavy metals, traps it in the cage, and then when you use the restroom or you go to void, you will then flush out the cage that has the heavy metal in it, and that's how you safely detox without those heavy metals becoming free roaming in the body, causing more damage on the way out. So it becomes neutralized and it is stable, and then out your body it goes.
Yeah.
So scientifically, that's how it works.
That is like a perfect explanation. Like, just sort of like for normal people to understand it. That's excellent.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't want to be like having like, intense reactions. You're going to have reactions. There's going to be some sort of symptoms because we're all toxed out with so much stuff, water, food, meat, air. So we want to minimize those reactions as much as possible because lead, mercury, aluminum, arsen, all of that junk is coming out, and when it comes out, it has to come out through the lymph, sweating, breathing, bowel movements, urination. That's it. Those are your possibilities. So you need to have water with this. You always want to start with 1 spray a day, twice. But explain that part. Go ahead and talk about that part.
So how you would take it is it's a tasteless spray. So it's the zeolite is suspended in a water suspension. So if you have experience with like colloidal silver, it very slightly tastes like colloidal silver, but it pretty much just tastes like water otherwise. And so the recommended dosage is 5 sprays a day. However, depending on your toxicity load and what your genetics and your body and what you got going on, you might want to start with 1 spray a day, as Mary mentioned, sublingually. For me, I do it first thing in the morning because you might have, Mary will talk about her effect that she experienced. So I recommend taking it in the morning. And then start with that 1 spray and then work up. So the first week do 1, the second week do 2, third week do 3, and then, just gauge what's going on. Take notes of your body and check in with your possible detox symptoms because you might want to skip a day if you're experiencing symptoms that might be a little uncomfortable, like headaches or nausea or anything like that. You might want to skip a day or go down in sprays. So I've been doing it for 3 weeks. I'm up on 3 sprays. But I was having a little bit of a hard time a couple days ago, so I just went back down to 2. So you have to totally individual. You can power through and just start with 5 sprays and just power through it, just depending on what your life situation looks like. If you have the ability to take some time off and just do your whole detox thing, that might work for you, or just, be a warrior and power through it.
Yeah, and I like the way you said take a week at a time with one dose, once in the morning, one, and it's important to do two unless you're having reactions like me, but because that 6 hours, it takes 6 hours to flush out, and then you need to put it back in your system. And so the nighttime when you're resting, you're detoxing. Now, another thing I want to point out is this is a detox. It is a liver detox. It is an intense detox. You don't want to be doing drugs or alcohol while you're trying to do a detox. Even a casual drink isn't going to be working for you. So you want to just take a break from that for a minute and just do a little 30-day cleanse with this and see what happens, because that's when you might have a reaction, is doing this and then drinking alcohol, wouldn't you say?
Yes, exactly. That would be like taking 10 steps forward and then 10 steps backwards.
Yeah.
So your detox experience is completely up to you, and it's your responsibility to own that and do it in a responsible way. So in addition to making some lifestyle changes of maybe not consuming alcohol, maybe cutting back on the white flour, the sugar, the caffeine, which are all good things to cut back on anyway. So, and then looking at your diet, you know, you want to be eating more whole foods, cooked vegetables, maybe reduce your meat intake, or, you know, go for more organic meat choices if that's something that calls to you, and just, you know, monitoring what's going on there so that you're not adding toxins in as you're trying to detox.
Yes,
So
right.
juicing is also really, really helpful, just to help keep your liver flushing out and your lymph continually moving.
Yes, yes. Water, water, water. You can't overdose
Yep.
on water.
Yes. And it has to be good water. That's the other thing. It can't be tap water. If you have the ability to get high quality filtered water, or high quality bottled water is the second choice if you can't do a filtered water.
Yeah, I mean, some of the symptoms, tell us some of the symptoms of like why people have been doing it, like with the lupus, with dementia, from testimonials.
Yes. So who would be someone that would want to use this? So heavy metals are, Mary already touched on this, but heavy metals are prevalent everywhere. So you could live 100% healthy life and do everything you can possibly, but the air we breathe has heavy metals in it. The water, the food, everything. So we're getting it from lots of different cosmetics, lots of different sources. So looking at your heavy metal detox load would be great for everyone, but if you are someone that has the MTHFR mutation, you definitely want to look into a heavy metal detox. Lyme disease, autoimmune disease, vaccine injuries, a locked vagal stress response, children with speech delays and sensory processing disorders, someone who has a mood disorder, candida overgrowth, parasites, high stress, adrenal, thyroid function. Basically anyone that's on planet Earth right now would probably want to experiment with a heavy metal detox.
Yes. So I just wanted to look at these little symptoms here. It says, greet your day with a morning dose into your mouth. Sorry, move this over here. Um, can you read that? You want to read that?
Um, which part do you want me to read?
Just like
The
the
well-being
greet your
toxin
day.
removal?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I see. 8 cups of clean water throughout the day to flush the trapped. I can't see what that says, but that's good to do. Let's see. So another recommendation was when you do your sprays, to then, when you do your spray in the morning, to then partner it with some gentle exercise, or exercise of some kind, so that you move the lymph and start sweating, like Mary mentioned in the beginning. Eat to live well. Finish your day with an evening dose of TRS spray, 3 sprays in the mouth. Key is consistent, and sleep. Try to get 8 hours of sleep. And no blue light exposure for at least an hour before bed.
Which is
So blue light would be your
computer TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us some of your symptoms, so that and then I'll tell my symptoms.
So I suspect that my lupus is actually
So that
a toxicity to mold. And so just really quickly going back and just to talk about what TRS can take care of. TRS can remove lead, arsenic, mercury, barium, strontium, cadmium, uranium, which is radiation, aluminum, gallium, cesium, aflatoxins from yeast and mold, mycotoxins, which is from mold, and pesticides and herbicides like Roundup. So those are all the things that TRS will remove. So for me, I think my lupus is actually a heavy mold or a toxic mold allergy. And so I have already been doing some other gentle detoxing with some supplements and clean water and some other things. So adding the TRS to what I'm already doing is really helping me push over that barrier and really detox all those other things. So for me, my first day, I started with 5 sprays, and then I dialed down a little bit because 5 was a little too much for me. But I have a little bit of a headache occasionally. I've had some some joint pain and soreness. But other than that, my dreams are more vivid and clear. I'm remembering my dreams. My brain fog has diminished significantly. It's still there, but it's definitely better. I just feel better. Like prior to all this, I had like this kind of heaviness, like a cloudiness, soreness, just didn't feel good. And so this is helping me feel like alive again, to be totally honest, without sounding cheesy. It's actually, I feel like it's giving me my life back, to be totally honest, because the flare-ups from lupus are really debilitating. And it's like, I can't even describe how painful it is. And it would seem silly because I look like I'm fine, but when I would be having a flare-up, I'm not fine. Don't feel good.
Yeah. And that's miserable because people don't understand, because you look amazing. And then when you have these little detox reactions or reactions to, whatever that lupus is, you're down for the count. You're down for the count.
Yeah. I also, it's really common. Another thing that comes with the detox spray is it removes parasites. And 90% of Americans have a parasite, which is frightening and fascinating at the same time. So when you come in contact with a parasite, and that could be from, meat or swimming in unclean water, drinking unclean water. Sometimes you can get it from fruits and vegetables. And then you don't know, so it just grows in your body, and then you start having all these other crazy symptoms because parasites consume and they hide under heavy metals in your body. So if you just had a random bug enter your system, the innate intelligence of our body, your immune system would wake up and attack that because that's its job. But it can't because of all those heavy metals it's kind of shielded under, because the immune system looks at these heavy metals and is like, what the heck do I do with this? And so when you remove all those heavy metals, now you have this parasite that's floating around. The immune system attacks it, kills it, and then you pass it. So I can totally verify that I have passed a parasite that I didn't even know I had, which was exciting and frightening at the same time. So it's very, very common for people that are on the TRS journey, even children. The testimonies I've read, children as young as 6 months old are passing parasites. That's crazy, crazy. So parasites wreak all kinds of havoc on your digestive tract. And there's a whole other, I'm going to have a ton of information posted to my website, because this is just really meant to be just kind of like a really quick intro to what TRS is. But there's so much information. I'll have it all on my blog afterwards with links and everything. But parasites cause a whole host of problems with neurological things and digestion and everything. So just addressing that is so helpful for just really changing your health. And a lot of things masquerade as like heavy metal toxicity can masquerade as other illnesses. So like in my case, I don't really truly believe I have lupus. I believe it's environmental toxins that are causing my body to attack itself in an autoimmune response way.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So to quickly go over my experience with it, I got real excited. I'm a freak about detoxing. I've probably been detoxing forever. So I said, okay, I need to get this right away. And I didn't start with 5 because in the past when I do that, I like, am down for the count, and I like, no, I can't be down for the count. A lot of things are happening right now. I'm gonna go conservative for once in my life. I'm gonna go conservative. So I started one drop in the morning, one drop at night. Nothing. It was like, wow, okay. But I had an amazing sleep. Amazing. I woke up the next day. I was like freaking energized. Next day I said, okay, bump it up. 2 and 2. Freaking amazing. Like I'm 2 cups of coffee. I'm not a coffee achiever at all. Because if I did, I'd be like, zzz, I'm already like that. Okay. Third day, 3 and 3. This is when I knew I couldn't do it at night. I was buzzed. I couldn't sleep. The 3 drops at night wired me. I was like up till 12, 1 in the morning, zombied out, reading, writing, doing freaking work. Came downstairs where I'm dehydrating some chocolate. I'm like, came down, checked in. It was like 1 in the morning. I said, get to bed. Next day, I said, okay, I was in denial that it was causing me to have energy. Next day, 4 drops, 4. Again, couldn't sleep. Yesterday was 5-5. That was it. I went to bed at 3 in the morning because I
Oh
couldn't.
my God, 5-5, you're a maniac.
I'm texting her at 3:30 in the morning. She's like, "What the frick? Is she getting up or she's still asleep? Or she just get up at 3 to meditate or what?" So that's it. I cannot do it at night. I have no reactions except it buzzes me out. I mean, literally, I feel like I had 5 cups of coffee last night. Just buzzed out, awake, wide awake. And then when I did finally sleep, it was like, good sleep, but it wasn't long enough because then I had to get up at 6. So,
Yeah.
so you never know how you're going to react. Maybe down the road, if I stay 5 in the morning for a month, maybe I'll get reactions, or maybe I don't have anything to detox. Maybe a parasite will come out. I don't know. This is so strange to me. But it does give me energy. So that is one of the benefits. We should be energized like that, but not at night, you know, during the day, because I told her the next day, I'm like, I feel so energized. And it actually curbed my appetite. Remember, I told you the first
Yeah.
day?
Yeah.
I was not hungry. The second day, it curbed my appetite again. The third day, my appetite came back. So I don't know what that was about, but
Oh, you know what it might have been about? It might have been, where is it? When I was making my notes earlier. It does, it raises, oh, there it is. It raises your intestinal pH. So maybe that's what was happening, because I do remember that you messaged me that. And so the TRS raises the intestinal pH, restoring the correct amount of acidity to the large and small intestine. The raised pH kills bad bacteria and promotes good bacteria growth and balance. So that could be what was happening. It's just
yeah.
changing your intestinal
Yeah,
pH.
so I was fine. 2 days, I was like, I hardly ate anything, but I wasn't hungry, but
Yeah,
I was so energized. I was like supercharged,
that's all.
supercharged. Today, I was glad for my 5 morning sprays because I did not sleep well. I didn't sleep long enough. I slept deeply for those 3 hours, but I didn't
Yeah,
sleep long enough.
yeah.
And so you never know. But so if you have any of these symptoms that she mentioned before, lupus or, needing to detox from parasites, or even for kids, what are some of the things kids are doing? Mention that real quickly, and then we're going to go to your website.
Yeah. So a child that might have a vaccine injury or sensory processing delays, so someone that's having a speech issues or anything like that would possibly benefit from the TRS detox spray. Also, kids that have the MTHFR, which is a gene mutation. MTHFR, and I'm not an expert on it, so forgive me if this is incorrect, but my understanding of it is that it you don't absorb your nutrients like you should. So I think it's something with it doesn't convert a nutrient properly is what the MTHFR is. So another person that has Lyme, I don't know if I mentioned that before, but someone who has Lyme
Oh,
disease
yeah,
is also someone that would benefit from TRS, because Lyme has something that has to do with not absorbing zinc. And so someone that's going to have like a Lyme flare-ups and things, they're going to want to be ingesting zinc because their body just pees it out. And so they're also going to hold on to other minerals and toxins that are in that same column as where zinc is on the periodic table, because it's in that same category. So your body is looking for zinc, but it's not finding zinc. So it's going to take the next best thing, which might not be something that's beneficial to the body. It might be like a toxin or a mineral that's not actually something that you want to keep in your body.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm going to make sure and put the link on the in the bottom of the description, so if anybody wants to order, you can. So you can see, you can go shop and get the retail price, or you can become a distributor if you've got serious problems that you know that you're going to need it more than a few months, or you're suffering in pain, or have something that's a better price to become a distributor. 68. That's what I did. And
yeah,
then,
so distributor doesn't mean that you have any pressure to sell. It basically just gives you a pretty nice discount from $95 to 68 is a pretty
yes,
sweet discount. Plus it's $8 for shipping.
yes, yes. So I don't know where that. Yeah. So that's basically, it's just deciding if you want one bottle to start with or three, which is the best deal, because then it becomes 50 each, and then you can
Right.
sell it to or give it away to your family people. Like I did this one for Jill, me, and I got one for my daughter. So
Yeah.
that's the best deal, really.
Yeah.
And if not, just go with the one bottle, try it out, and that's what it looks like.
Yeah. So it's a 1-ounce bottle. There's 150 sprays in each bottle. So for one person, it's about a little over a month's worth. So there is zero contract, zero commitment to this. You don't really, they say it distributor, but you don't have to be. You can just turn on auto ship also as another option if you don't want to become a distributor, which there's really truly on paper, there's no difference between having auto ship and then the distributor. If the distributor is something, if you're interested in sharing about your experience and then possibly just being able to sell it to people, that would be the benefit of that. But if you turn on auto ship, which you can turn off and on anytime, that is another way to get your discount.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Do that. Become the distributor. When there was no fee, right, to be a distributor, it's just whatever it is, which is good.
Oh,
Most distributors, you have to pay a fee. This one,
right,
you just get right in there. It's
right.
worth it if you're having any kind of illness, diseased symptoms, because liver is the main organ that causes disease, and all
Yes,
these toxins affect the liver.
yes. So really quick, what possible side effects you might experience when you take your TRS? And this is not everybody. Some people experience this, some people don't experience anything at all. They just have crazy energy like Mary. So possible side effects can include a parasite purge, a sluggish lymph system. That's just your body flushing. That's an easy fix. It can cause a little bit of a change in sleep patterns because your pineal gland and your melatonin cycles are being reset. It does decalcify your pineal gland. So some people, when they take the TRS, they report having really vivid dreams, which is not a bad side effect at all, in my opinion. Some
No.
people might also experience mild headache, a sore throat, a runny nose, which is common for detoxing, even if you're doing like a juice detox or anything like that. And another really interesting thing was you might have an emotional detox, because the inner state of your body is a reflection of your outer world, or it's the other way around. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So if your emotions are all messed up because your gut is messed up from toxins and parasites and all these things, then your brain isn't functioning like it's supposed to.
Exactly.
So that's another benefit of working with your detoxing. So you might have some emotional sensitivity, anxiety, mood swings, or trauma might come to the surface, and that's just all part of a release. And then as far as what you can expect for benefits, improved adrenal function, lower stress, higher clarity of thinking, decreased joint and body pain, enhanced dreaming, improved memory, increased attention span, personality normalization, decreased metal toxicity, parasite purge, candida overgrowth support, improved motor function, eyesight support, emotional regulation support, speech support, improved sleep, improved energy, and that's just the tip of the iceberg for possible benefits. But I've read testimonials of kids that are nonverbal, kids that are on the spectrum that are nonverbal, that after a month or a couple months on it, that kids start speaking. So that's really, really incredible.
Yeah, that's
It
what I
really,
wanted. Autism. Yes, that's what you had said
yes,
before.
yep,
Autism, which really got my attention for, I mean, there's hope there. Like
yes,
that's amazing. And who knew that it's toxins from vaccines? I mean, we know
yes.
it, but people are in denial of it. So,
Yeah, well, unfortunately with the how they are manufactured, there is no way around. They have to put. I mean, there is aluminum. There's aluminum, and there's thermosol, which is mercury in vaccines, and that's it's for preservative purposes and other scientific purposes, but it's not beneficial to the body. So any way you chop the cake, you're still injecting aluminum into your body, no matter what you're trying to protect against.
yeah.
So children that are on the spectrum have a lot of mercury and aluminum in their brains. And so same thing with Alzheimer's, also has a lot of metal in their brains. And so working with a safe way to detox is a good thing to look at, because chelation therapy and and that route of heavy metal detoxing can be deadly, because you're loosening up those things. So just in a nutshell, you want one spray for every 30 pounds. So if you want to use it for your kids, like my son is probably around 30 pounds, so I do give it to him. And another thing, if you have a child, even if your child doesn't have any sensory processing or speech delays, there's that window of time when a kid goes from a crawling baby to a toddler where they're going to be on the floor a lot. And so they're on the floor crawling around. And so they're putting their hands in their mouth after it's been on the floor, and you've got, either shoes on or shoes off in the house. Your floor is dirty no matter what. And so, plus with children being exposed to, if you live in an older home that has lead paint on the walls, there's a greater risk of encountering lead there. Lead is also in pottery. So really beautiful decorative pottery has lead in it. Your flatware, your silverware, your glassware. Typically, if your glassware is colored, so if it's like a cobalt blue, most of the time that has lead in it also. So lead can be even in your own home, even if you're not, necessarily, you're riding the wave of natural living and things. You still have heavy metals all around you. So that would be the benefit of giving the TRS to a child, even if the child doesn't have any vaccine injury or sensory issues.
Yeah,
Kids put everything in their mouth. So I
exactly.
also I was watching a video earlier that said that when children pick their nose, it's a compulsion, because they're continuing the life cycle of the parasite that lives in their nose.
Oh, I read that too. Yes.
Yes. And then they're eating their little boogers, and then they're continuing the life cycle, because then the parasite is going to flourish in their intestines. So there you go. There is a reason why kids eat their boogers, and it's not a good one.
Yeah. Or picking their nose.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we're gonna finish here. So let's see. I guess we already went to that page there. Yeah. So just again, quickly, you can, shop or become a distributor. Those are your two options. And this is the Natalie's page. So we'll put the link in the description so you have it. You can get a hold of her on her phone right there, or her email. but we'll put the link in, and then also in the link, they can go to your Instagram page and find you there as well to sign up with this as well, right? It's
Yeah.
Coyote. Tell us what it is.
So earthmother.coyotechild is my Instagram handle, and on my link in my bio, I have a link to this website that will give you some more information there. And then also on my Instagram page, I have a highlight reel that talks about my TRS journey and has some more infographic information about what it is, what it does. And then also after today, in the next couple of days, I'm going to post all of this information on my website, which also has the link on my Instagram. My website is coyotemotherreiki.weebly.com. So you can go up there and take a look at the blog post that will have more in-depth information of some science with just all of this, because there's a ton more information. We're just barely scratching the surface here.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. So we will keep you posted as we have more information, and we want to thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing. Drink water no matter what. Be blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Be well, and see you next week. Bye. Bye, Natalie. Thank you.
Bye.